Sunday morning news. Today we will be covering four very important events that occurred during the very tragic World War I. We have four very new reporters that are on the sites and are ready to tell us what has happened. Let's take a look.
We're out here and World War I has begun and deadly new weapons have been introduced to the battlefields. Both sides have created weapons for mass destruction and ruthless killing. The Germans have introduced mustard gas, as we can see being created behind me. One of the deadliest weapons in the war. This is shot by shells into trenches and releases a colorless gas that kills the enemies silently. Next up, I'm headed out in the yard in front of the studio to take a look at the model tank used in the World War I.
Thank you, Falco G. I'm going to be talking over while he makes his ways to the tanks. I will be talking about the unrestricted submarine warfare, which was first introduced in World War I in early 1950, when Germany declared the area around the British Isles a war zone. All merchant ships were attacked by the German Navy without any warning. U-boat is a German submarine which sank over 5,000 ships. Germany was the first country to have submarines in war as substitutes for surface raiders. Now that's all for this event. Back to you, Flaco G.
Alright, pals and gals, I'm out in the yard of the studio where we have a British Mark IV tank. Tanks like these here were key in response to the stalemate of the trench warfare. These killing machines are mobile, heavily armored, have immense firepower, and the Patriot wheels, which look like a treadmill, allow it to have all-terrain mobility. The British first introduced their tank prototype into their military in 1916, with the first model called the Mark I tank. The Mark I was a rhombus shape that allowed it to cross over trenches as well as easily navigating obstacles. However, early mechanical tanks were unreliable as they broke down right in the middle of the battlefield. Germany was not a big fan of building these tanks, only building 20, whereas the Allied side built several thousand. That's a lot of firepower. However, the Germans were very effective in countering these tanks and could counter any tank very easily. Alright guys, up next I'm going to see the artillery we've got in the back.
Hey, this is Bob Mixter Z, aside the Lusitania, and I'll be taking over while Flaco G makes his way to the artillery. A few weeks ago, a German U-boat torpedoed and sunk the Lusitania, a British ocean liner from New York to Liverpool. There were 1,900 passengers and crew members aboard, and more than 1,100 died. 120 of them were Americans. I have heard that the United States Congress will formally enter World War I in a few months against Germany. The sinking of the Lusitania played a tremendous role in turning the public opinion of Americans and people abroad against Germany. Germany had an excuse for the sinking, which was that they had suspected that the Lusitania had ammunition in it, which was later investigated to actually be true. But I don't think that excuse is going to change anyone's soundness against Germany. Wait, I think Flaco G has landed in the artillery fields, so that's all from me. See you later.
Now down here, we take a look at the artillery used during the war, like the 1916 German 210mm howitzer behind me, being operated by our staff and crew. Artillery inflicted the most casualties during the war, used by shooting shells into trenches to decrease the morale and numbers of the enemy before an infantry charge. The Germans first used their ability to shoot shells above an angle of 45 degrees to cause maximum damage to the enemies. Alright, next we're going to be taking a look at how the rifles and where the rifles were produced.
Thanks, Flaco G. Hello, my name is Red Band C, and today I will be reporting on the Zimmermann note. On January of 1917, British telegram receptors intercepted and decoded a telegram from German Minister Arthur Zimmermann to the German Minister to Mexico von Echtart, offering United States territory Mexico territory to Mexico in return for joining the German cause. Unfortunately, this message helped draw the United States into the war. In fact, this telegram was so effective that no other single telegram had such big consequences. Zimmerman first sent the message thinking that America would join the war sooner or later because of the unrestricted submarine warfare Germany was doing. More was said about this topic by my partner, Kobe D. Therefore, Zimmerman decided that the Mexicans on their side would be a good investment. Mexico would not get in the war for nothing, so Zimmerman offered the Mexicans land that they lost in the Mexican-American War. Now let me read to you what Zimmerman wrote on his telegram, and I quote, "We make Mexico a proposal of alliance on the following basis: make war together, make peace together, general financial support, and an understanding on our part that Mexico is to reconquer the lost territory in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona." We could not get a hold of Zimmerman himself, but in the future, if we do, you will definitely hear more on this with a one-on-one interview personally by me. Bye.
Now we're here visiting the Westwood Works Weapons Factory, which is currently settling down from the mass production they had during the war, creating rifles. Despite all the weapons we have looked at so far, rifles are the core, being what the infantry soldiers go to battle with. The war introduced the world into the development of bolt-action rifles, which fired multiple rounds. There was not much research or development going on the rifles during the war, as the main focus was the other weapons like artillery and tanks. The main thing determining the rifle's quality and performance was its magazine design, but the operator of the weapon was also important. An experienced army like the British Expeditionary Force would be a professional army and to be feared on the field for their accuracy and ability to destroy multiple targets and hostiles at one time. Rifles were used by snipers also, who were tasked with taking out any enemy who peered above the trench. Alright folks, that's it for my look at the highlight weapons during World War I. Visit me next week where I'll be taking an exclusive look at the Rolling 20s, which is about to come up on us.
Oh, is it on? Oh. Okay. On another note, we will see Gideon Sunbeck's new invention called the zipper. Let's take a look.
Siri, who created Zipper?
Ha! I got your phone!
Wow! Stupid thief! So, Siri, who created Zipper?
I, Gideon Sunbeck, invented the zipper. And if that stupid thief down there had some zippered pants, he would have had that phone.
Well, damn.
This is what it would have looked like if he had zippered pants.
Ha! Got your phone!
Yo! Man, he had zipper pants! That's a goddamn good thief!
See, that's a fool. But that was more like it. I approve.
Thank you so much for tuning in this Sunday morning on T News. Tune in next week to see brand new stories and exciting footage where we will be on the scene and rolling. Thank you.